back to the lower bracket in their very first match. Not to call that out, but I just want to salute and give credit to the grind that EMPYREAN had to do to get to this point.
It's so very, very true. It's only made him stronger for these situations now. Striker bans here. The Stego goes. Inferno players love to see a Tricera ban as well, but do you necessarily need it now with the Stego? A Welkin to box and push things around. Both teams actually quickly confident on hovering the ban they want.
LUNABREAK, their Palm Bay Harbor composition, Tricera, Hurricane, Aquila, Luminate, Inferno, Welkin. And you're denying 2 of those, or at least one of those. Stego comes in and out, so you're not going to have that Welkin box to really seal off that payload. You're going to have to brawl without the box, without that little arena, and you have even less heavies to anchor that payload, but you still have Tricera in the picture.
No air? Ooh. Ramen Rook may get to run free here for a bit. Really mess with the Aquila, mess with Lori. The Sky Raiders' disruption on energy is going to be huge on this, and I think EMPYREAN feels like they're going to have an upper hand right off the bat here. The Hurricane Inferno, though, from LUNABREAK, you cannot deny the damage that's going to be able to do. I mean, they both have it, but it is enough to turn a game and flip it on its head.
Woo! We got to kick things off in our lower bracket, and Orca and Celestial Being will be up next, and they're watching because the winner of this will face the winner of that. The loser goes home and has to watch the rest. Let's kick things off on Palm Bay Harbor, the payload. If you're new here, there are consoles that spawn, 3 of them that increase and accelerate the progress. But it is a rat race to the end where the payloads are next to each other, then they converge and diverge away. So it is the most hectic map in Mecha Break.
I love it. You have to fight outside, you have to fight close quarters, and then the map breaks out again. But the levels of height are uneven. You're trying to get on the payloads. You're falling down into the trenches. It becomes a choice of when to attack and how and who's doing it in the more perfect way. We're going to be jumping on to Palm Bay Harbor. We've seen EMPYREAN kind of take to the low ground to start these games, cycle around the outside and allow their opponents the high ground. But no, it's going to be a switch up this time. It is LUNABREAK on that low ground.
Big compositional difference. LUNABREAK with the Aquila, EMPYREAN with a Sky Raider. The rest completely the same. So early progress already from LUNABREAK as EMPYREAN kind of are setting up to the skies and getting some scouting going. But Arun is wasting no time getting aggressive.
So here's another adaptation. Usually this point is almost left open because the payloads will meet at B, but not if someone is instantly sitting on it. That's going to move so far for now. We still have point A to come up, but I wonder if they try to go back to that for a little cheeky backwards cap to start.
Ramen Rook already doing some disruption and up into the sky. He combines with that Inferno and they converge, and LUNABREAK did suffer some damages to their fluid armor, but this is about setting the tone. I'm seeing EMPYREAN taking a lot more damage in this early fight, and LUNABREAK sit pretty.
Yeah, Chaldean almost down in this situation. You can see 4-0 as LUNABREAK hover on the point. It's not too much of a worry for EMPYREAN. They know they can kind of just shoot inside this fishbowl now and do a lot of damage to LUNABREAK. As A point is captured, we start to move to the high ground here in just a moment.
Oh, Arun is trying to contest the enemy objective, and it's just going to be collapsing on Incilia and the friends who just can't seem to escape. And what a good collapse. Arun got the stun, and up against the wall they are pinned. And that's 1 down for EMPYREAN.
And Cilia falls. The Tricera is no longer in the fight for now. And they continue to push on this low ground. Very interesting. We do not see this commonly here in the tournament. But everybody's still trying to fight in the trench rather than on high.
EMPYREAN have to stabilize at this point, but also get their payload, and their backs are against the wall. They don't have a lot of space to work with, but they do get out of the garage, and they'll sacrifice their own lives to push LUNABREAK to their brink.
Dangerous. You hear the sirens for Arun now, trying to still combat what he can to get back into the fight. Good heals coming through, so they'll be safe for this, as it's just a bit of a breather now. It is going to be a short spawn towards B, but yeah, this will not be EMPYREAN's payload getting to the point in time.
Right, the console will unlock very shortly. This is dangerous. Lori, that Aquila has already been pressured out of the fight, and Empyrean are trying to catch up with the progress. Only 10% separates. And this is a pretty melee-heavy area with no Welkin, no Stego. The Elysinuses can go aggressive.
With the way this is going, okay, they actually have quite a few onto point now. Looking at the Inferno damage here from Magical Abyss. Oh my gosh!
Insane. Empyrean follow through too. The teamwork, they're communicating, and there's hazes, there's clouds, and LUNABREAK try to trade, but Empyrean have been able to catch up when it comes to the score, but the console is what matters. LUNABREAK halfway to capturing it. Empyrean trying to deny. This Tricera of Ancilia has been an ultimate anchor, and Arun is just Goomba stomping Ancilia to death.
What a beautiful fight for the B site right now. Re-armoring on the Elise knees, and they're going to keep going after Ancilia once again to try to get the Tricera down, and they are successful. They continue to wipe the heavy tanks from the side of Empyrean, just making these captures that much easier.
Secondary lives forced out of these Elysians too, so how far or how long can you really keep this up? LUNABREAK will get that progress, and despite having a good start, they continue forward as Azuria just forcing everyone back. Good peel from LUNABREAK as the payload travels in through such a narrow passageway.
A lot of this inside corridor fighting matters, but it is once they reach the last corridor, it can change its sea, and thereafter on the final leg, a great lead by LUNABREAK here to bolster what they'll have once they get out of this indoors area. But it is going to be all hell breaking loose once we get back outside.
Arun has been such a menace on this Elysius. It is not going to have that second life cooldown when look at Yar to do the same thing. Now rejoins the squad. Empyrean are grouped up. They have control of their payload, and they'll meet LUNABREAK again on the other side.
Here it is. They set up for the Inferno corridor shot from both sides. It's a mirrored attack as they get themselves. Who gets the better positioning on this? You still have the payload move coming in from LUNABREAK, so they are set and ready to drop off the high ground once their payload reaches C.
Right, Arun is trying to play gatekeep at the front door, but also dangerously low on the fluid armor. LUNABREAK trying to take all the space as possible as Yui goes pretty uncontested in the sky. Empyrean are going for high ground setups, and Arun is disrupting all of that, leaving Yui to finish off these kills. Empyrean are starting to get pretty split from each other, and with Rook, a flyer in the sky, he's about to get finished off until he escapes.
Yeah, sliver of health forced out behind the structures just to stay alive, and you can see how the payloads work. Empyrean focusing on the movement of their payload the entire time has now met the capture points of LUNABREAK moving their payload 3-3 on the final point. This is the push for the final portion.
LUNABREAK, all the kills coming through with a 6v4 at the end. Arun has been the Elysius to watch, and Azuria, the anchor on the Tricera, denying any melees, or also denying that Elysius from going to free. LUNABREAK now get accelerated progress with that console upload.
7% between these 8% now as it just slowly ticks over. We'll have to see if they can get any denial on that payload, if they can start rolling it back. But right now, it's about the fight. A lot of people are looking up towards the air, not down towards the payload.
Yeah, Empyrean, the ball is in their court. They're the ones behind. They have to make a play. And it's Rook that looks for the setups, but it's LUNABREAK that look right at him. Great marking of that flyer, and Lori could have the chase down. Rook was in a small room and manages to fly his way out. But remember, LUNABREAK have a sniper, and Lori locks in the shot.
I credit to LUNABREAK here, Lemon. This is the most damage I've seen Rook running around with all the time. They are giving his flyer hell, and it seems like nobody's been able to really pin him down. Yui with a huge damage coming in there, a double kill, and they're going to continue just pounding down on Empyrean.
95% and growing. LUNABREAK finishing the map very shortly. A triple kill for Yui on that Inferno, and Empyrean not able to disrupt, pressure, or set back LUNABREAK. It's been a LUNABREAK lead from the beginning, and there is even LUNABREAK denying progress from Empyrean. Map number 1 goes to LUNABREAK.
Yeah, just with a beam on Chaldean there at the end. The unprepared for Palm Bay have fallen, and that is a big win for LUNABREAK.
Just the power of an Inferno and an Aquila that is left alone in the sky.
Yeah.
There's so much well-coordinated DPS from LUNABREAK, and to constantly be marking that Sky Raider, Rook is like that MVP for EMPYREAN, and for him to be silent this match, I mean, he was silenced.
Yeah, he was absolutely silenced. Great control. You saw that LUNABREAK really had a step up on setting up these fights, being able to actually unload their damage time together instead of what seemed like a little separated for EMPYREAN in moments. And with the payload moving forward, I think that also just gave LUNABREAK time to figure out the game, set it up a little bit more, and produce a better macro overall.
Yeah, just EMPYREAN were trying to have a stable setup of having their Tricera on the payload and try to group up. But it was LUNABREAK also being very proactive, leaving their cart first. When you're in the lead, you have a little bit more liberty to do that, leaving those doorways, denying a lot of real estate, which denies Flyers room to operate, and at least any follow-up that could be helping Rook in that case. So LUNABREAK came in with a well-drilled plan and also a lot of confidence to boot.
Yeah, with that loss to Anubis yesterday, they do not seem any jaded. They are coming out firing, and that was an actual just counter strategy to Rook on that. And the Falcon wasn't even banned. They had the Aquila in the air, so you even saw Aquila ready to just deny that Falcon, continue to fight him on the ground, and not where he's good, not where Rook can really win that fight. So huge adjustment here from LUNABREAK, and that's exactly the things you need to see as we get it lower bracket and late upper brackets.
Yeah, you just saw the power of not having a Welkin in this matchup. Someone that could deny a lot of that range damage, that can box up and buy like kind of this window to take a breath, or even someone to, I think, one of the best brawlers when it comes to Palm Bay Harbor, to just really throw it down. And now you have no Welkin. It came up to the aerial battles that, well, LUNABREAK dominated in.
One of the fun things about a Welcome box on that too is if you put it in the right place, you kind of just pull the rug out from under them, and they'll stay on your box as the payload moves through. So you can bump them off like kind of like Panaka walls and stuff like that. It definitely helps, and it creates a kind of a problem for the Hurricane and the Inferno. But so does this Tricera. They didn't mind very much. Seems like they're allowed to play, or figuring out how to play around that and make sure Palm Bay Harbor isn't that much of a toss-up.
I think EMPYREAN they did pick Palm Bay Harbor. It was actually, they were feeling really good. They picked that against NGT, the only time I think EMPYREAN really lost a map there. So I think Graceland Sky City could be another solid one for them, but there's only 4 other maps to pick from, so you can kind of roll the dice and probably be right.
True. I like Graceland Sky City because the way that he'll probably go Sky Raider again, if not banned, with the way he likes to actually set up the disruptors in front of the team. Obviously, you go for the opponent to disrupt any energy from far away that's obliterating your squad. But that death ball that we've been seeing created on high ground or low ground, he just kind of goes behind his team and says bloop, 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 and then he'll fly off. And like, here's your energy protection whenever you need it. Stego Tricera back up. They've got a good idea there, but we know it, so that means LUNABREAK knows it.
Yeah, where do you go to next? And is Aquila or Inferno going to be a ban that EMPYREAN consider? Because I think those guys are the ones that hurt the most in my vote for MVP. So this is how the damage broke down, and man, this was a team effort. You, Lori, just doing the most on the Inferno and the Aquila, as I just mentioned. But Arun, we were just hyping him up throughout that whole match with the Elises and how aggressive he was. Because when there's no Welkin, I'm having a great time as an Elises.
Oh my gosh, you love it. Nobody can really stop you. You're parrying anybody that wants to come back at you. Like the Elises, not too much more to parry if the Welkin's out. But yeah, Arun 4-0-4. Direct damage, just over 351,000, so helping to clean up the fight, but again, be that disruptor within the fight. What do you think? I think we're going to switch quick. Who do you think?
Arun.
Arun? All right.
Just because I'm an Eliseness bias.
Just to be different, I'm going to go with Yui.
And just to point out deaths, and it's not like a flame thing, but in Celia had the double the amount of deaths as a Tricera, telling me that's the focus of LUNABREAK, right? To just remove any kind of base, any fortress, any fortification that EMPYREAN had to really keep their payload under control. And that's how LUNABREAK even got progress off the rip.
We'll see. It is Yui on the Inferno, spitting out fire. A triple kill. We saw that coming up on the scoreboard, and they were just following other double kills. 3-0-8 with almost 1 million damage there. Nicely done. and time to run around freely. I think they did a good job at keeping themselves untargeted, while really stopping EMPYREAN from being able to get footing to say, hey, we want to attack this, or we can get back in from just going for this. None of it worked because they really didn't have Encilia.
I'd love to see the double flyer from EMPYREAN. If we go to Graceland Sky City, though, they brought it out against Orca. What's so interesting about that is that Ramen is the Falcon and Chaldean is the Sky Raider. So Ramen has proven to be so flexible on all these different choices, and this could be what really harasses LUNABREAK. Because if there's a lot of good Inferno damage, a lot of good Aquila damage, add more flyers to the mix, and you gotta be able to deny those sightlines and make them uncomfortable mostly.
Absolutely. I was talking to Chaldean a little bit, and people were in the Discord, and they're saying, well, Sky Raider, man. He's like, oh, I'm not Sky Raider anymore. But you're right. He can play the heck out of it if they need him. Yeah. So it's going to be awesome. I love that point. They do have two flyers that are kind of at the top of their game for Falcon and Sky Raider, and that could be a huge one. You see the end of the fight here between LUNABREAK and EMPYREAN, and honestly, full control from LUNABREAK the entire time. If you just look at the map, they had great control over the death timers of EMPYREAN, and you're usually seeing, just like on the map now, 2 to 3 members consistently down.
Yeah, Cape Blanc, I think could always be fun too if you just want to let the open skies really take over, although there's just going to be one flyer there, but it's important to just have all your ultra heavies available. You need Yar on the Welkin, the Stego from Chaldean. You hope that that doesn't get banned, but the bans will depend on what map we go to. There's the Corite Crystal trophy in the middle. Krob Sinkhole is where EMPYREAN choose.
Okay. I actually like the way that they were able to play. Both teams have great macros, so that's exactly what you need on Krob Sinkhole. It's what they decide to ban.
What's funny is that I think EMPYREAN only went to this once and they lost it, and it was to NGT. It was that like random map 1, which is sort of a tone setter as you figure things out, but Elysinus, Stego, Sky Raider, Tricera, Luminate, Inferno was EMPYREAN's comp in that moment. So I think if they can follow suit to a lot of what they just ran, minus maybe some more Elysinus.
Do we get a Panther now?
Oh, never mind, no Elysinus.
Yeah, no Elysinus. You don't want solo capping chaos coming out from anywhere. Welkin, Stego, Luminate, Naru. Ooh, yeah, we do get the Naru in here. Ramen is waiting to hover that last one.
Naru, Kami, or Aquila. So the fact that EMPYREAN didn't ban that Aquila thinks the Inferno was the biggest problem. A rune stall potential on objectives, that was the problem. And there's only so many things you can ban. So Ramen has to decide between the Falcon or the Sky Raider. Those are the main 2 things he has ran. And Lauri's going to have to use that stealth. And if Ramen doesn't run the Falcon, he's going to go undetected.
I do like this team from EMPYREAN. With the hurricane damage that they can start spitting out onto the squad, it might be a little bit that kind of gives them the advantage in their early fight if they can get that ground. The Falcon is there for Ramen, so yeah, you're going to have Lauri kind of pinned out there, radared out. The team can find Lauri, but you still have Hurricane and the rest of the tanks down in the fight, wreaking havoc. It's going to be an interesting one as we head over to Krob Sinkhole.
Yeah, LUNABREAK are also pretty well practiced on this map, especially maybe not in the best of ways since they lost that against the Anubis. And I wanted to see the Arun Panther, but it's been such a risky striker to want to play as much as we want to see the Panther 1v1 arena one more time. But the anti-range of the Hurricane is going to be massive from the side of EMPYREAN, and how, now that the Stego's not banned, how you can play around him.
All right. On to Krob Sinkhole. One more and LUNABREAK will move on, eliminating EMPYREAN, but will they keep themselves alive in this best of 3? Neku exists, and Ramen are your controllers of the skies.
First objective spawns in the middle, the rest will spawn later. So the main battle, the war for the middle, whose ultra heavies will be able to set up and how you play around those pillars as cover. And Arun is already being so annoying in the skies, that Elysinus, and he's gonna go kind of stealth too, using that Stego smoke to try and get above and beyond. Also getting the Welkin box barely misses him, and he uses his own Welkin box to stay in the sky. That's really cool.
Oh my gosh, where is the fluid armor? We're just seeing full hits onto the health bars right now. No resist as everybody's just getting popped a little bit. Oh, another 10,000 coming from Maroon. That cannon is so punishing, and he's going to stay. He smells blood in the water, and they're going to try to go for this kill.
Oh yeah, he was Elise's last map, and now he's on the Welkin, which is just kind of bigger Elise's, but with only one life. So it suits his playstyle perfectly, and it just feels like a hockey rink the way that Welkin spins around and skates. And Arun, though, that has no fluid armor, so dances around the pillar, but will go and capitalize on Encilia, who goes into the stealth form because of that Stego smoke. I'm not sure they'll be able to live. They bring out the composite shield to try and get some invulnerability going, but the cap still is in favor of EMPYREAN.
Check that out. They just watched Encilia drop down to the water with very low health, but Arun does not follow. It's more of a priority to stay up here. They're going to have to do a lot of healing just to get that Tricera back. The points on the sides are opening. B has been grabbed as we're 1-1 now. Both will tick up at 2.
And no one at C, as you can see in the bottom right. So the score very even. Being able to control the center of the map, you'll have lines of sight on the other points, but no Falcon means you don't get that easy scan through the walls. But Lori's been able to use the stealth to sit back, sitting beside his decoy, and there's no flyer really poking and prodding at Lori.
Oh my god, EMPYREAN's health bars are non-existent right now. Look at the top right of the map. It looks like they're almost all about to fall with just a piece of the puzzle being removed. They are going to get Magical Abyss back for now as NekoExist does his damnedest here to just hold off of C, and it doesn't look like RamenRook or even Encilia are going to be able to stop this.
Well, there is that Falcon of RamenRook. He's flying to C, trying to capture it, but LUNABREAK up and on his tail, well marked, and they managed to steal away EMPYREAN's B cap. So this could be a triple cap if EMPYREAN are not careful.
No targeting available for NekoExist. Every time he tips, ducks, and dodges, and you'd see Encilia just leaves. He says, I don't want any more of this. They're going to bring the cavalry in. And now it's the triple cap for LUNABREAK. Incredibly quick on Crop Sinkhole.
All these melee battles being won by LUNABREAK, and EMPYREAN running a Hurricane and not having as much mobility. They just got to set up and try and defend against LUNABREAK once they do approach, but a triple cap is going to be dangerous. EMPYREAN need to put the fire out.
They want to look to get this damage. I was saying EMPYREAN had that squad, they have the Hurricane, but where are the targets to hit? So mobile, so ready to make the next step. LUNABREAK is just nowhere in the eyes of EMPYREAN. They get 1 point, but now look what they have to get through to get back to A.
Yeah, EMPYREAN are going to be really good at defending 1 point, but how do you retake the middle of the map? It's not going to be like cutting through butter, not against a team like LUNABREAK, who also have control of the perimeter. EMPYREAN have really one mobile guy, and I look at RamenRook, and based on how last map went, LUNABREAK can have Lori just sit back and snipe away at all the fluid armor and all the health of EMPYREAN.
Crazy, and I'm feeling if Lori gets any problem, they call for air control as well. We haven't even seen the Narukami being affected by pressure, just free shooting the whole time and tearing those health bars apart. Yuria about to go down here. The Welkin's very low, another hit, and that solidifies the kill.
And that may just help LUNABREAK keep control of this middle of the map, and EMPYREAN, they're not only just underwater, they're starting to drown, and with this spin from Maroon, how can you be stable? EMPYREAN depend on Encilia on this Tricera, but based on the deaths of last map, it's difficult as one of the tankiest strikers in the game to keep afloat.
Yeah, it's just a Narukami blasting away the shields, then going into targeted shot. You can melt Triceras, and now we're seeing that effect come into play. Arun slowly just gets the breather box, and they'll be off on that one. Caldian does go down, and there's Lorax still adding pressure, or Lori still adding pressure.
EMPYREAN need to come up with a plan quickly, and they just concentrate their forces together while trying to regroup on respawn. The B capture is there, but do they just want to go for a BC cap? It seems their game plan is to get B stable and then rotate into A, but retaking feels impossible when you have Yui with the Stego shield up and all the missiles. You need to force Stego out of that turret form to limit his DPS.
Pure staggering. Caldian just spawned. RamenRook went down the second he spawned. They are so staggered on the side of EMPYREAN right now. It's hard to formulate anything in the macro to get into those fights.
So far, LUNABREAK have kept EMPYREAN in their cave, but they need to emerge or they just are going to be left in a slumber forever, with this being series point for LUNABREAK at almost 750 points, first to 1,000 wins, and EMPYREAN haven't had a double cap this entire game.
They know it has not been. They've been thwarted each time, not even getting to the points, and plus enough to pay respects. They're just not able to approach these positions. 800 now about to take over for the side of LUNABREAK as they are very close. You got to reach 1,000, and they are well on their way with the control over the map. And Celia's down, and it looks like they might lose Kaldian right now.
And with the stealth of this Narukami, you like don't even know he's capturing, and you turn around, you're like, wait, we lost. We have to turn around. We go from plan A to plan B, and then EMPYREAN have to turn on their heads. It's just LUNABREAK that came with a better game plan, 100 points away before LUNABREAK advanced to the lower bracket semifinals to face the winner of Celestial and Orca. And EMPYREAN wanted to get there so bad. And they're just been shoved inside of this cave. The door has been closed, and LUNABREAK, the Eclipse, is here.
Yeah, it's going to be huge on this one. Blacking out the vision of EMPYREAN as they look for the win. They look for the trophy, but it only gets further and further from their sight line. And 7 points. LUNABREAK, with an incredibly dominant series here in the lower bracket, will push forward and find themselves playing either Celestial Being or Orca. Ooh.
Which other team was the one doing that? It's not another team from their region. They're so
was that Anubis?
funny.
Was it Minima? I know it was Minima.
It's Minima, yeah. Minima's team doing it, and a tough loss to suffer for EMPYREAN, but it felt like such a mountain to overcome of one of the toughest challengers you could draw in this lower bracket. A sweep 2-0. It was close on Palm Bay Harbor, neck and neck, but even just off the rip, LUNABREAK had a setup. Off the rip, they just went and contested the payload. They show us a new way to play the map, to now the Narukami, one of the least picked strikers in the game. Lori giving us a masterclass, but also giving respect to one of North America's best.
Absolutely. Incredible play here. And something had to be done about Rook, about the rest of the team and how well they work together. It really seemed like to separate those forces as much as possible. The Narukami so effective on the outside because of the protection, but also they couldn't just focus on Lori all the time. Really well played there. An early lead on Palm Bay Harbor. LUNABREAK knows how to keep control of their leads, and we're seeing why they're such an effective team across each map now that they've played. I think we still have Misra to see LUNABREAK on, so it could happen.
It definitely can, and LUNABREAK advanced to the top 4. Japan now having 2 teams in the ends of this tournament. And up next, we have Celestial versus Orca, and we have like the practice room next to us.
Oh my God, they're going hype right now.
People are like making sure they are so well practiced and are sweating their butts off over there. It is hype.
It is hype. It is hype. It's the meme of like the sweater. They're going in right now, and they've been playing the whole time. The last few minutes, the last few seconds of honing the skills that gets them to the championship trophy here. Every moment these pilots can spend in the practice room, they are.
I want to go watch that very soon.
Honestly, I'm like,
we got to wait for this interview before we can
going on?
That's what's been so cool about that practice room, is being able to go watch what everyone's doing and helping each other. I think no one's helping each other anymore now that it's like serious.
And honestly,
mode.
like practice room, it's like a practice hangar. Like
that's so true.
Divvied out booths, your emblem on it. They have these areas that they're sitting in so you can watch them from kind of behind their tables. Yeah, they are set up to do amazing things, and LUNABREAK set up to do amazing things moving forward. Like you just mentioned, it is going to be Celestial Being versus Orca. Now, 2 teams, that has to be said, 2 teams that have had very tight games. It's amazing to see comebacks, but they need to get full control of these games to move forward. Comebacks are great, but close games mean you need to fix something.
Someone who had full control of the game, if I had to guess MVP, Lori easily.
Oh, yeah.
Narukami, like one of the best ones. But also probably pretty easy to put up those damage numbers when you're like 1v6 and it's kind of a practice range, because I'm sure Rook, as the Falcon, had to really stay with the team. You weren't going on these side quests to capture other points. You were just all committed as a team to do things one step at a time.
It becomes a lot more difficult. It seemed like Rook ran the games before, and it was kind of looking to find that position the whole time. He just did not have the directive for it. Looking around, the damage, the Lori on top. Up there, that might even be MVP. 11.1.
Also seeing, did EMPYREAN not get a kill? Are my glasses smudged?
0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yes. That is also an effect of how it's tough to win a map. if you do not take the opposing team out at all and they have 100% uptime, it's going to be really tough to stop the Caps.
I didn't expect a shutout, like, for the kill department, too. That is, like you said, the entire story of this. And there's two ways to play a map like this with 3 objectives, whether you take each objective as a team or you send your more mobile strikers, your Luminaes, your Falcons, on, quote, what I call side quests to go around the perimeters. But then when you have a Narukami sniping you around, you kind of want to play next to your Luminae. And this Narukami, an absolute menace being able to sit back.
And we have touted it throughout the week. Japan's Narukami, a little more aggressive, always strong, and we finally get to see it. It wasn't the in-your-face. They weren't capping on point A, but still, Lori knowing exactly what needs to happen. And I love the fact that we saw Neku exist on Falcon was like 0, 0, and 9 because these were the finishers right here. These sniper shots, the 8 kills, were what